Yeah, a little bit. I thought he was okay today. A little unlucky. Um, I didn't really think it was that bad. He kind of hung in there for us. Um, yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
What was Max doing what was Max doing so well that you guys couldn't really get anything going against him?
Well, yeah, I haven't really went in to look at anything, but he's the kind of guy that early on I thought we kind of chased a little bit out of the zone. Looked like his ball was taking off, and a guy we haven't seen, so the ball up was taking off on us a little bit. I thought we chased a hair, and then as the game went on, I thought his command got better. He got the ball in the strike zone and then just really pitched aggressively from there, and did a good job with us.
How concerned are you about Adrian's injury after he stayed on hand?
I haven't had a chance. Nobody's came to me during the game, so I'm just assuming at this point that it wasn't broken or anything like that. He was just having trouble squeezing, and at that point it was just like it wasn't worth it. Pushed him forward. He's pretty good about knowing what he can and can't do. So I'm assuming he got X-rayed during the game, and if nothing, Stan didn't come to me and let me know anything. So I'm kind of assuming that was negative. He may be sore. We'll see where he's at.
Is there enough of a sample size on Bolsinger now that you're starting to see other teams make their adjustments coming into his starts? And then how do you see him kind of reacting to that going forward and keeping up?
I think there's probably getting enough sample size that teams are forming game plans and kind of seeing how he pitches. But with that, they still got to do something with it. I think his command's been better with the fastball, which allows him to do different things. Today, really, I thought he was just a little bit unlucky and threw the ball okay. So,
how so unlucky? I mean, I know the one that hit the umpire, but what else did you see?
The first pitch play of the game, he gets the head in the count. They kind of reach out and flip a ball in the hole. It just seemed like everything kind of went their way. Now, they did a good job. I'm not saying that they were just totally lucky hits, but he wasn't getting squared up all over the yard or anything. He kind of limited damage in there, the inning with Duda. Then he gets the broken bat hit up the middle that we can't get an out on. So, I mean, it wasn't like he's just they're shooting balls all over the yard today. So I thought he was okay. I mean, within all that, we got plenty of time to put some runs on the board. It's 4-0 going into the seventh or so. So we've got innings there to put something on the board and get back in the game, and we just didn't do enough with that.
Johnny, with Max's only second outing, you've seen his demeanor and his pace. He seems to work quickly and goes after that.
Yeah, he seems to work quick. It'd be interesting to see. Again, I felt like we chased early. He looks like he's a little sneaky with his fastball. It's like velocity's not like 97 or 8 like some of the other guys. But it looked like the ball got on our guys a little bit. So it would be interesting to see. I know we go back to New York after the break. So if we catch him again, I'd like to kind of see how we react, if we react any differently.
Given that you're having a hard time getting 5 out of Bolsinger, luck or not, the results haven't been as good, and Frias is on the DL, how concerned are you about that back end of the rotation?
Well, like anything else, you look at what's going on realistically and see where you're at with it. One of the outings, basically was sick, and he's threw 4 shutout innings before he comes out of that game. Who knows if that's a 7 or 8 inning game there? Nobody's probably talking about this one. So we'll just see where we're at. I think Carlos is going to be fine. Maybe the best thing for him in the long haul as far as innings off of him. I don't think there's anything that's going to be major wrong. I feel like, after the break and it's time to come off the DL, I think he'll be ready. Those guys have really kept us in games. They've taxed the bullpen a little bit, but they have kept us in games. And so we just have to, on those days, that's why we're talking about trying to get those guys separated just a little bit so we can manage those innings better.
How hard is it for a pitcher like Bolsinger to make the adjustments in season once teams start getting that scouting report on him, start getting a better idea of what he's about?
I think it's just making adjustments. It's not so much in season. I mean, it's just changing. You got to pitch a little differently. They're starting to attack you differently. You just make adjustments that way. It's the same with the hitters, back and forth. So, you use more fastballs and breakable counts or whatever that would be. So you do your work and you pitch accordingly to what. Sometimes it's a matter they could look for that curveball all day long, and some guys just can't hit it. So just knowing who that is, and then who you got to do different things with.
When you look at your team over the long haul, I mean, you still have a nice margin in first place, but I think over the last 5-6 weeks it's been about a 500 effort. What do you see that still encourages you, and what do you think kind of needs to turn around a little bit?
Well, I think for the most part, we haven't really scored consistently. I mean, if anything, other than when we took off out of the gates, we got out pretty good and swinging the bats. So I think if there's anything that we haven't done well, it's score consistently. There's been times we do. We've pitched pretty well. I think the bullpens did a pretty good job. We've caught the ball pretty good. We just we haven't scored consistently.
Is Eric Surkamp going to start for tomorrow? Do you want to announce the start for tomorrow?
Surkamp's coming up tomorrow. He'll be coming up.
What do you know about him?
He's left-handed. He's tall.
Bigger than a bread box?
Bigger than a bread box. Ball moves. Got a curveball. You can shorten it.
He's coming up just to start. He's not just coming up to.
He's coming up.
Who's starting tomorrow?
I'm not sure about that yet.
Colon going back down. Colon is going back down.
We haven't made that move yet.
Is Brett Anderson starting tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Got to go through the whole list again.
We're just not ready to announce. It's not that big a secret. More than Eric's coming up, and just a matter of how we're going to try to arrange it.